So, first topic is this bizarre HBO Max rebrand. I want to talk about it. We've got to talk about it. What are they doing? What are they actually doing? Why the rebrand? It seems so very strange. To me, doesn't really make any sense. Why they would do this? It seems just yeah. HBO Max renamed Max.
So boring, generic, lacking creativity for names.
I mean, it doesn't tell you anything, does it? Like,
No.
let's be honest. The wait is over, as if we've all been waiting, ladies and gents. Warner Brothers Discovery on Wednesday unveiled Max. I mean, that might as well just be a sex bot. No one knows what Max is, right? It's refresh streaming service, combining programming from both of the original HBO Max streaming services and Discovery Plus. So you've removed two big name brands, Discovery and HBO Max, two brands, like things which people go, I know what that is, and just gone, Max. So we're going to call it that instead. So dumb. It launches May 23rd. Max will cost $15.99 a month for the ad-free version and $9.99 a month for the ad-supported tier. A third ultimate ad-free version with 4K Ultra HD resolution, 100 offline downloads, and Dolby Atmos sound. That's quite good. Will be available for $19.99 a month. So unveiling the updated product at an event at the Warner Brothers lot in Burbank. Warner Brothers Discovery President and CEO of Streaming and Games said Max will feature personalized recommendations. What's different here? Personalized recommendations across platforms for users after they finish watching a TV show or film, just like Netflix. Previously, this was only available on the HBO Max homepage app, and video start times are also expected to be 20 to 30% faster. So, that, depending on device and presumably internet connection. Perret said to help address glitchiness that viewers have long taken issue with on the preceding HBO Max platform. Existing HBO Max subscribers will maintain their access to the rebranded Max at the same price. With profiles, watch history. Look, the short of it is, guys, what on earth are they doing? Why? Any ideas? Any ideas?
Well, can I just say that I'm grateful they didn't just add a plus to the back of it?
Well, you might,
for sure.
But you've lost what Max Plus or just HBO Max Plus, like because they've lost the name recognition.
But they never should have changed from HBO Go. They actually had a successful nameplate with that. And again, the only reason that they're doing this is so they can bring in some of the Discovery content, right? Even though Discovery is going to continue on at its own for $6.99, right? And you know, it's funny because I've just been watching. You know, I've been watching very closely the non-reaction from the trade media on this. And the only people that went after it was Variety in a VIP article saying it's underbaked. Yes, this is an underbaked idea. This is bad.
Massively. And Warner Brothers Discovery stock slides after Max streaming rebrand. I mean, you've stated already that it's gone up a little bit, but not massively. I mean, it dropped by nearly 6%.
Oh no, but I mean today it's on the rise. Not much. It's up to 13 cents. But to be fair, it wasn't terribly high to begin with. I mean, it's 14.19. You know, is where we sit right now. But you know, it looks like the 5-day high was right before this announcement, which was 15.46. So it's like, you know, it's moved about, or 15.40, 15.54, I guess was the high. But that was right before this move. And they make this move and then it dips. That's just weird. But they're up a little bit today. And who knows? They may trend the right direction.
But it's interesting, isn't it? Because this is, you know, in the world of streaming wars, wars, you would have thought Max has no brand. It's not a brand. It's an actual name of a person.
And they should have just left. They should have just left it HBO, or you know. And again, they've discarded the lengthy brand history of HBO.
Well, everyone knows what even people in the UK know what HBO is.
Yeah.
Even people in the UK know what HBO is. Right?
Yeah.
We don't get cable.
People
we
in
get
Uganda
things.
know HBO, the brand.
Yeah. Max is a meaningless trash name. HBO's
Not only
iconic
that-
worldwide.
Not only that, here's the thing. Max is also such a generic name that all over the world, you have a number of television stations, all with different brandings that are all called Max. Like, for instance, in the Nordic, we already have a Max here. I'm not saying
It's a
that
burger
the Nordic
joint,
is
isn't
the
it?
world, obviously, but yeah, and also a burger joint, for instance. Yeah, that's a Swedish one. I'm surprised you knew that. Yeah, okay,
I'm
so
on
fine.
it.
In the Nordic, we have then 2 Maxes already, none of which have anything to do with HBO, even remotely. And wherever you go, there's going to be some kind of a Max. And you already have HBO, which is already well known across the entire planet. Wherever they have Game of Thrones, wherever they have Sopranos, wherever they had Oz, wherever they had Rome, they all know that this is HBO. Well, Chernobyl, also HBO. HBO is a brand. And to me, this is the shocking thing. It's a worldwide brand, and they're discarding it in favor of the most freaking generic thing they possibly could find.
Can you imagine if Coke or Nike just changed their name to Max?
Yeah, I was like making like, for instance, you have like Coca-Cola Light, and then you just change that to Light, and that's that's not gonna fly. And also, like, HBO Max was kind of stupid, but it kind of worked in a sense because Max could kind of like add as a modifier to HBO, so you have like the maximum edition of HBO. But really, what you're doing here is you're keeping the modifier, but discarding what is to be modified. It's just ridiculous. It's like, I don't know who is behind their marketing department, but they need to find someone else for it. Maybe it's like the same chick that's like doing the Bud Light stuff. That's doubling there. I don't know. But when you look at the craziness, and also what did they have? They had like HBO Go, HBO on the fly, HBO Slow. They had like so many different HBO things
Slow.
that did nothing but just dilute the brand. And here they're discarding the brand. So I don't know what kind of marketing personnel they have going there, but seriously, they need to find a different job. I mean, you would have thought that David Zaslav would know better, but I guess not.
Well, I wonder, is this a means to an end for a tax purpose? Maybe, you know, we know that they
can't see how.
Well, I mean, yeah, neither can I. I'm just trying to give a benefit of the doubt in some way, because it's the only thing that makes sense to me. I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you remove all name brand recognition and just be like, Max?
You got to do some major mental gymnastics to come up for a reasoning why they would do this for sure.
It's so bizarre.
And the thing is, the name change doesn't happen until towards the end of May 23rd, I think, if I remember correctly. And so maybe the backlash will force their hand to not change it, and maybe it actually won't happen. But
I don't think they care that much. They're more than happy just to double down. I don't think they'll care that much, in fairness.
I agree with that. I mean, whenever you make a decision like this, you know there's going to be some kind of backlash. But very often they also know, like when they do like stupid changes, they know it's going to be temporary. You often see this in case of like fusions, where, for instance, you have like 2 banks that are fusing together, and the intention is always for the bigger bank or bigger institution to completely swallow up and absorb the smaller one, just for PR purposes, and the shareholders of the smaller one, they're not going to say that yet. So then typically you're going to have both names after each other, the name of the bigger company followed by the name of the smaller company. They're going to do some stuff with the logo, slightly different logo, to show that now this is now like a new shared company. You have the perfect example with like Warner Brothers Discovery, right? You had Warner Brothers, you had Discovery, the 2 became one, Warner Brothers Discovery. That's how it works. Not saying that is going to be the case there, because in the case of Warner, I do believe that Discovery are just trying to fix it and then eventually sell it off later. They're not going to do it there. But if they were going to keep it, one of those two names would have to go in time. Then eventually there's going to be a different rebranding again, where you just go the entire way, because now everyone is used to idea. The shareholders have become one and the same, so now you can just go through with it and complete the absorption. You've had the same thing happening with multiple banks, and I can even think of like two huge Norwegian corporations. You had like Statoil and Hydro, and for a while there they were merged and people couldn't accept. Then there were Statoil, Hydro, and a couple of years later, it was like everyone was fine. Then you just skipped Hydro from the name, and you were back with just Statoil, the other one.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that was the same with Sony and Ericsson? It was Sony
exactly
Ericsson at a certain point.
Same thing.
And
Sony Ericsson
Sony again.
But this is kind of like the standard practice, isn't it? And then eventually, Ericsson disappeared, never to be seen again, completely engulfed into Sony, which was always the intention.
Yeah. Also, I was just going to say, according to a report by The Verge, that Warner Brothers Discovery changed the service's name to cater to kids and families. While HBO is a popular brand, it generally associated with edgy and youth-oriented content, which means that some parents may not feel comfortable allowing their children to use the service. Changing the name to Max allows them to promote kid-friendly content through the platform. And not only that, they also changed the color scheme from the elegant purple that it used to be to a generic blue shade.
Well, that's a good thing.
Well, the color changes, but to rebrand an entire platform.
Yeah, that's insane.
When you could just simply do a marketing campaign just to say, oh, hey guys, we actually have loads of kids stuff and we've set up these passwords so you can protect your family against it, just like Disney Plus,
exactly.
Like Netflix.
You just solved it right
do
there.
That.
Yeah,
you do that marketing campaign.
I mean, I could design such a campaign in 5 minutes. It would be super easy, barely an inconvenience to reference someone else who could do it quite easily. And you had the solution right there. You already have like adult edgy thing. Now you just need to show, we have adult edgy, but we have the family friendliest of family friendly. You can't trust Disney anymore. Well, this you can trust.
Yeah.
One marketing campaign would secure both of them.
You only need to run it for like 6 months.
That with HBO, you have everything for the entire family. Edgy for you, safe for your kids. And a password wall to separate the two. Problem solved. Instead, they're going to discard the branding they already have, because now you are free to build your brand completely from scratch, because that's the position they find themselves in.
So bizarre.
Yeah, well, hey, it's very exciting. Merger of equals always ends up with one company eating the other one. It's just the way it works. And believe me, I've been through a couple, so I know. And you just end up in that situation. And I'll say it this way: every announcement that they made, with the exception of one, which we're going to talk about a little bit in a few more moments, has kind of left a lack of enthusiasm with investors and obviously people like us. I mean, they're even talking about a Big Bang Theory spinoff, the second one out of Big Bang.
That's a good idea, though. Yeah, I can't fault them for that.
Yes, but it's not going. I mean, it's still Chuck Lorre. It's basically just an announcement that they're working on it. They don't have anything tangible, but it is something that would be exclusive to HBO. Well, in this case, into this Max platform. So, but look, I mean, you're abandoning a nameplate, and I mean, HBO is its own studio. I mean, it really is. And Nate, you guys were talking about it. Anywhere that they've never existed, you still know what HBO is, because at the beginning of everything they've ever produced is the television thing that says HBO. So,
yeah, it's a brand. It's just so. It's just lunacy. There must be a reason behind it, but I can't see it. Essentially,
honestly,
cannot see the reason.
I don't think so. I mean, sometimes we are in shock and we just desperately try to think of there has to be a reason behind this, and you just have an idiot that made a random decision that made no sense, that somehow was able to pass through the entire system. I mean, you'd be surprised how often this happens, even like in big corporations. I've been in quite a few huge corporations, and I've seen some decisions made that even the lowliest of accountant could see this ain't gonna work. And there were so many warnings, and so like I've seen like projects that lost like tens of millions, and everyone working on it could see that this isn't gonna work. Everyone apart from the decision makers that carried right
Yeah.
on. And the best thing they did was cancel the whole thing when they had lost tens of millions as opposed to hundreds of millions.
Well, it will be interesting to see where this lies and where it ends up.